start so far for Saeed Ajmal. Rare dot ball in this spell so far. Let's have a look at the pitch for today's game. It's been an absolutely fantastic service. We've regularly seen over 200 runs scored on it. On the first day here, it was just amazing, the ball striking that was happening, and it's had a couple of good days rest. So hopefully we'll see some more of that today. It's what you want in 2020 cricket, is a flat pitch that's beneficial for the batsmen. That's what people are paid to come and see here. They want to see big hits on this final day, 5th day of the DTC Hong Kong T20 Blitz. And that one is pulled around the corner. It's going to get it for 4 runs. No, Carl Christie does the fielding there. Just the 2 runs, a very good diving stop from the young man. Had a nice chat with him yesterday. He's come back from an ankle injury that saw him miss the Desert T20 Classic. Very decent stop. That's an edge, and Saeed Ajmal's not having a good morning. Lets that one through his hands. There he is. Not a brilliant first over, and then also a misfield there. Conceded 22 runs from that first over. It's not what you want from your big name spinner. Strong drive from Carl Kurtzer, but no run. Daniel Pascoe, the man that does the fielding there. Law professor at the university here.
So driven firmly down the ground and beats the fielder at mid-off. Goes for 4, so this is a great start here for City Kai-Tak. Carl Kurtzer, he's in great touch.
Leg stump ball there that's worked away for 1, and they're coming back for 2. Yep, going to make it quite comfortably in the end.
Got him! Samuel Badgery knocks over Carl Kurtzer, who was looking in good touch. That skidding delivery that right through the bat and pad. Both Pete and I getting a bit excited there as that ball just wedged between bat and pad. It skidded on and hit about halfway up middle stump.
Absolutely massive wicket. Carl Kurtzer was a big part of the win that we saw yesterday for City Kai-Tak, which has put them above Hong Kong Island United on run rate.
Wondering if that did keep a fraction low, but it's probably Badgery's the wrong person to read for balls keeping low. Not a lot of excitement there from Badgery, just another day out. Another skidding delivery beating a batsman.
Aizaz Khan, the City Kai-Tak captain and Hong Kong international that will be coming out to replace him. I've been impressed with Aizaz in this tournament so far.
He's got a big job to do here. He's facing Ajmal. So they're really going with their trump cards up front here. The HKA United, 2 each from Badgery and Saeed Ajmal. Oh, is that a drop?
I think he's put that one down, Jamie Atkinson.
No reaction from Atkinson, but the way that Ajmal responded after that ball went down suggested there was a nick. Oh, and that gets into Dilshan's arc, and he hits it out to the deep square. Badger's taken on the boundary. George Munsey keeping just inside the fence, and 2 huge wickets here for HKI United.
Most relieved man I'm there, surely, will be Jamie Atkinson after that chance went down the ball before. An absolutely lovely running catch from George Munsey, the Scotland international, who's shown us he's got fantastic hands over the last 4 days of cricket.
Big celebration there in the HKI United boxes. A huge double strike for them to get rid of Kurtzer and then Dilshan.
Kurtzer, the man with the more runs so far. He scored 87, 27 and 58 before this match. So it's huge for them to have both of the experienced international openers gone.
Oh, look, great reaction there from Dilshan. Throws his head back. He thought, I think when he first hit it, that was going to go all the way, but that's a fantastic catch from Munsey. Had the boundary rope at his feet, never easy to concentrate on taking the catch when you're worried about your feet touching the rope. So now the 2 local boys, Wakas Barker and Azaz Khan, left to try and just keep this momentum going that was started from Kurtzer and Dilshan.
Wakas Barkat, 27 years old, occasional leg break bowler. He's played 7 ODIs and 11 2020 internationals for Hong Kong.
In the end, the move has worked to have the 2 overs each from Ajmal and Badri, because they've each struck in their second over.
Yeah, excellent return after that 22-run over from Ajmal.
Oh, I think neither Zaz or Jamie Atkinson really reading delivery of Ajmal there.
Well, that one went the other way.
Atkinson there. Doesn't look like he saw a lot of that. It must be tough with Ajmal coming around the wicket. There's a chance here if he hits. Disappointed to concede that single.
Jamie Atkinson fact for you. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
He was the first person to have been born in the 1990s to play an ODI.
I have heard that one before. I'm sorry. But I don't think many of our viewers would have. Yeah, he's been an experienced campaigner despite only being 26. Jamie. Well, that's up in the air. This should be taken. Not a great shot. First ball from Wakas Barkat and taken. Munir Dar takes it at cover, and this is game on here. The door is open for HKI United to reach this final.
If Cambo was saying just win, they're certainly going away towards doing that.
I'll tell you what, that's a disappointing shot from Wakas Barkat. First ball against Syed Ajmal. It's hard for anyone to play the big shot, but that he was nowhere near the pitch of the ball. Tried to heave it across the line to the onside. An easy take for Munir Dar, and that now City Kaitak under real pressure here at 35 for 3.
Well, it's going to be the man of the moment who's going to replace him. Gareth Hart, the man who took that absolutely spectacular catch that set YouTube on fire yesterday.
Gotta love the smile of Syed Ajmal. It's been a real joy to watch during this tournament. Gareth Hart. Of course, some still images that have appeared on Twitter may have questioned the veracity of the catch.
I think I was speaking with the umpires and they were saying how, there isn't the facilities here with as much, we're trying to give you as much coverage possible to have a third umpire for this particular tournament. So they had to make a judgment and they thought it was out and Darren Sammy was happy to go.
So the rule, does he have to step inside the field play first? I know in the end his foot was still touching the ground outside the rope, but if he'd got, have they changed that rule where if you get airborne, there's been talk about it?
So the first contact with the ball needs to be His first contact with the ball needs to be after he's touched the ground within the field of play.
So that wasn't actually that close, really, to being the case for that catch. He clearly leapt from outside the playing.
His first
boundary.
contact was within, so he was okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he can jump back in to take it. The issue with that particular catch was, as we've seen with those replays and still images, is that I think his foot was on the ground while he was in contact with the ball. But I also spoke to Gareth Hart about it, and he just said, I have no idea what happened. I let the umpires make a decision. Yeah. It was a fantastic piece of athleticism for him.
Did he? So if he'd got airborne after leaping from outside the field of play, because his first contact was inside, it would have been okay.
Yeah, so his last contact before he touched the ball was within the field of play, so therefore it would have been a legitimate catch.
Fair enough. Good explanation, Peter.
There are some times when being a nerd is a good thing. And going to have a look at the trophy that these teams, one of these two teams, will be completing against Kowloon Cantons for later today at 2 o'clock Hong Kong time. There it is, the DTC Hong Kong T20 Blitz trophy. Looks good, Max.
Yeah, what a stunning trophy that is. Looking forward to finding out who will be presented with that trophy later today. Oh, that's a good effect.
Ah, very nice. It's very film noir.
Well, it wasn't that dark. Samuel Badgery to continue here, so they're going to go with 3 overs up front from Badgery, so perhaps looking to avoid their seamers bowling in the power play, which has been a bit of a problem for them, HKI. They're really looking to do the damage early. Badgery.
Sexy dip there from Samuel Badgery. I love it when a spin bowler gets the ball to dip on a batsman. George Munsey there, who's been impressing with his fielding in this tournament so far.
I think he's ready to go off with the bat too, Munsey. He's got a 60 off 20 or 30 in him at the top of the order. In a match like this where maybe quick runs are needed, might really suit someone like Munsey. You can go out there and just play shots from ball one. Well,
especially if the coach is saying to you just go and win it as quickly as possible. It just frees you up, doesn't it?
One kept very low, but Azaz Khan did well to stay with it and knock it into the onside. Misbah ul Haq going to play a key part in the run chase, one would assume.
The reaction of the fans here to Misbah ul Haq has been absolutely amazing as he's walked around the ground to get from one section of the ground to the other. There's been dozens and dozens of people trying to get a selfie and an autograph.
It's kept low as well. This is good bowling here from Badgery. This is more what we've come to expect. He's even got the man in close.
Well, 2 close catches, a slip and a forward short leg. You don't see that all that often in 2020.
That's edged, and that could run away to the boundary. It was a quicker delivery from Badgery. Had pace on it. A real bonus boundary there for City Kai-Tak.
Always the danger when you have 2 men and catching. You've got less opportunity for fielders on the boundary, but of course inside the power play you're only allowed 2 anyway. But it's a very decent placement from Gareth Hart there.
Just got to keep attacking the stumps here, Badgery. That's the line for him there. Very hard to get away from that position. Love another wicket here from Badgery. That's a big appeal.
Oh, that's very
a huge
close,
appeal.
surely.
Whoa.
I'd love to see a replay of that because that looks very, very out to me.
Was it spinning? Did it spin at all? Oh. Maybe going down leg side.
I don't think either Badgery or Atkinson could quite believe that the umpire said not out, but the only thing you could be thinking is it was going on with the line and missing leg stump. This is the 4th innings for Gareth Hart so far in the innings. He's got scores of 12, 23 not out and 1 not out.
That was a very close shout. Hassan Khan. So all spin in the power play for Hong Kong Island United. Perhaps hoping that this wicket, the third day of use for the tournament, has got a little extra purchase. So click the card there. Kurtzer again looked in good touch at the top of the order. Big wickets in the same over, or within a couple of deliveries of each other anyway, across different overs. Kurtzer and Dilshan. Marcus Barakat played a huge slog first ball and was out caught.
Well,
I'd love to get Chris Jordan in a bit earlier rather than leaving him as the sort of hitter in just the last few overs.
Well, I was just thinking that. I wonder whether or not they've decided, because those wickets have fallen early, they want to have the likes of Nicholas Pooran and Chris Jordan batting in the second half rather than the first half of the innings and looking to really explode. So I imagine the plan here will be for Gareth Hart and Aizaz Khan to build a platform for them to launch from in the second half of the innings.
Interesting, I guess, that you wouldn't have Pooran go out there in your top five. It's just looked so dangerous each time it's gone out there. If anything, he's probably just gone a little too hard. He's got immense power.
In a game against Galaxy Gladiators Lantau, he hit 2 sixes and was out for the third ball he faced. And those 2 sixes he hit off Unshaman Rath, but 2 of the biggest hits I think I've ever seen.
Very good timing.
Scored 48 off 19 in the last game. That included 30 runs off just the 1 over. I believe the bowler in that instance was Imran Arif, who was bowling a line that was just right in the slot for Pooran to hit down the ground. We lost 4 balls in that over. See Ishan Khan bowling again. Works the ball out to Misbah, who has a shy at the stumps, but batsman was home comfortably in the end.
Important here on the back of those wickets, Hong Kong Island United. They just try and build some pressure now, get the run rate down. After initially City Kai going at 10s.
Dot ball there for Ishan Khan. Ishan Khan, 32 years old. Played in the recent World Cricket League Championship matches against the Netherlands, where he picked up 5 wickets across the 2 matches. Wasn't much joy for bowlers in those games on this ground.
He's been a huge addition for Hong Kong. He's one of the only 1 or 2 sort of qualifier players, if you like, who moved to Hong Kong and just qualified after living here for 4 years in the middle of last year. And so whilst he made his international debut last year at 31 or 32, he's been a huge addition both with his bowling and his batting. So with him and Nadeem Ahmed as a spin combination has been very effective for Hong Kong.
It's going to be Tanveer. He's coming on to bowl. Tanveer Afzal, opening bowler for the Pakistan Association of Hong Kong team here. Came back for injury in the most recent first-class match against the Netherlands here, where he picked up a couple of wickets, but coach Simon Cook was telling me he's not all the way back up to full pace just yet after that injury layoff.
Really at his most dangerous when there's a bit of help there. He can nip the ball both ways when there's something there for the seamers, but hasn't been much on offer in this tournament. It's well bowled though. That's the sort of area he needs to operate, Tanveer Afzal. There's big overs that Hong Kong Island United need one of their seamers to bowl a good spell, take the pressure off the spinners and allow the spinners to take wickets rather than just play a holding role.
Saying earlier, a bit of consolidation here between Gareth Hart and Aizaz Khan. There's still the big hit in Chris Jordan and Nicholas Poran to come for the City Kai Tak team. Saw an excellent 70 from Chris Jordan in his first game. And that one's driven uppishly. Is there going to be a chance? No, it bounces just in front of Daniel Pascoe. We see there uppish driven drive. Daniel Pascoe doing the fielder there, as I said, a law professor here in Hong Kong. Played for Oxford University in their first-class team between 2009 and 2012. He's a Kowloon Cricket Club player, and we've seen him bowling with his slow left arm in this tournament. Ball's been following Saeed Ajmal around today, isn't it? Was a very cheerful figure. Had the chance to chat to him yesterday. Talking about his Pakistan ambitions, saying he thought he was done. He'd love to play, but he doesn't think he's going to get picked.
That's up in the air. He's not got all of it, but it's into the gap. And looks like they snuck back for 2 there as well.
Gareth Hart suggesting perhaps a little bit of variable bounce there with that hand signal there.
Doesn't look too unusual, but
no.
7 runs from this over so far. A big last ball here for Tanvir Afzal.
Eight runs from an over. Take that, I'd say, Hong Kong Island United.
Yeah, not bad from Tanvir Afzal. They're going to just need now Hassan Khan to back that up. See the DTC mobile shop. We put an extra 50 tickets on sale this morning with no promotion, and they went in an hour.
That's fantastic news.
Just thought there was a little extra room in there from yesterday, so put a few more on sale. See Nazakat Khan there, who's only able to watch today, unfortunately. So the Jaguars were knocked out the City Kai Tak group. They'll be hoping they're here all day watching their team in 2 matches.
Potentially. No. Actually, I think that scenario to happen for the Jaguars to make it's about the equivalent of a flying saucer coming down and landing on the pitch. So I'm going to let that one go.
Well, I'll tell you what, Calvin Cantons will be hot favourites if the Jaguars somehow snuck through, because I think most of their players checked out last night. Not literally from the hotel, but I think mentally, and perhaps wouldn't necessarily be in the best physical condition today to get out there and play a final.
I was a good boy last night, Max.
So you're ready for a final,
I'm
if
ready
required.
for the final.
Dan Pascoe. Had a chat to Dan last night. He's absolutely loving being part of this tournament. It's up in the air, but it's into a beautiful gap there from Gareth Hart. Looks in good form.
Yeah, very organised batsman. Very traditional technique.
Just a little bit wide, a little bit over pitch there from Dan Pascoe. From what we've seen so far, it looks most effective if you can just hit back of the length. Looks like it could go all the way. It does. Clears Munsey at long off. 6 for Gareth Hart. Big pressure now on Dan Pascoe.
Yeah, great batting from Gareth Hart. Yet to make his, yet to play for the Hong Kong national team. Am I right in saying that?
You're right in saying that, because he is only here as an overseas player for Hong Kong Cricket Club this year.
Okay.
So he. Oh, that's a big appeal. That's very, very close. Yes, he's given Gareth Hart hit in line, and that looked very adjacent, and a good comeback there from Dan Pascoe. Yeah, they needed that wicket. HKI United, City Kai-Tak were just rebuilding. Gareth Hart was looking in good form. A good stride in, but I think that...
Hitting middle to middle.
Let me just take 2 photos of it. Pick one.
It's Nicholas Pooran who'll be joining us in the middle. Big hitting West Indian batsman. And signed by the Mumbai Indians. Robin Singh, the coach there. And also the coach here. A bit of a tie up there. It's happening more and more in cricket now that coaches are getting to know players and want to take them with them wherever they go. Also, one of the more interesting things, the tie-up between these franchise tournaments that are now having the same owners across 2 different competitions. We see it here with Hong Kong Island United, which are the sister team of Islamabad United from the Pakistan Super League. Over in the CPL, there's the Knight Riders of Kolkata and the Knight Riders of Trimbago, as we see a replay there of that ball, which I think was smashing into middle and leg stump. Not a huge amount of doubt in that one. It's been an absolutely fantastic performance from Hong Kong Island United so far, who'll be feeling very confident of making it through to the final. Fantastic appeal from Daniel Pascoe. Always nice to see when a slow bowler takes the knee and implores the umpire to give him out.
Hong Kong Island United will just be thinking, so we get 1 or 2 more here. We're right in the box seat in this game. 4 wickets down. Pooran goes for the big one straight away. Has he got enough on it? Oh, of course he does. Out of here it goes. First ball. The guy only deals in sixes. Has 0 interest in singles. He's just decided that, well, I'm just going to go for it. Unbelievable. I thought he'd got under it. It didn't look like he got all of it, but it's more than enough to see it sailing.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic there from Nicholas Pooran. That's the 73rd run that Nicholas Pooran has scored in this tournament, and 10 of those, he's hit 10 sixes, so 60 of those runs have come from 60s. From
Unbelievable. Well, it shows that he's a key wicket. If he's in there 10, 15 balls, could make 50.
48 from 19 balls yesterday.
Was an expensive over from Dan Pascoe, but at least he got a wicket. That went for a couple of sixes and a 4. So 17 runs off it. So not a bad one, I guess, for City Kai-Tak, despite the loss of the wicket. Lion Rocks remained somewhat shielded by mist and fog for the 5 days here, but just a reminder of the points table, the all-important points table. Hong Kong Island United will need to chase whatever City Kai-Tak get in 17.5 overs if they are to reach the final and play the Kowloon Cantons, who have their feet up this morning and will be arriving at the ground in about an hour's time, ready to play the final of the DTC Hong Kong T20 Blitz. The crowd already building up nicely here on finals day. Still only 10:30 a.m. here.
Absolutely fantastic to see so many people coming out and watching. There seems to be lots of City Kai-Tak cats and hats. I was going to say cats and shirts then. Hats and shirts, which is great to see. Obviously, very popular team here. Tanwir Afzal into bowl. For 4 here at the start of the 9th over.
very circumspect. Just nudging that to the onside. What's going on?
6 or dot's the way to go.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would say is that keeping it back of a length, that is a smarter place to bowl, because any time he's got down to the front foot, he's tempted to get that ball to disappear. So Tanveer Afzal's going to use his experience here and just not give him anything that's anything like a half volley.
Saeed Ajmal there does the fielding, but they get through for a single. It's ruining that stat that I came up with these singles.
Yeah. Still a pretty decent percentage though. He's got won't be long before he hits another 6, I'm sure, if he's out there. But also good to see from City Kaitak's point of view that he's giving himself a few deliveries. I mean, I know he hit the first one for 6, but not trying to hit every ball out of the park, being selective.
81% of Nicholas Pooran's runs in this tournament thus far have come from 6s.
I reckon that might go up this innings.
I hope so, because I don't think there's many people in the world that hit the ball as cleanly.
It's up in the air. I think he's got enough on it, Azaz Khan. No, just short, and once again it's Munzi who's on hand to take the catch. He just didn't quite go through the shot. He timed it sweetly and made a good noise off the bat. But given that we are playing on the wicket, a couple further over, that boundary just slightly longer today. And Azaz Khan just didn't quite go through with it. Timed it. Munzi once again, safe hands on the boundary. And as we see here, Azaz Khan was up. He knew at this point he's in a little bit of trouble. And just City, there's no need for Azaz Khan to really play that shot. He's got Pooran who's going to do all the damage at the other end. Just needed to knock it round and pick off the singles. So not a great shot from the skipper. And this now is a key partnership for City Kaitak.
If they're going to make the final and win this game, they're going to need these two to fire.
Just wonder if we'll see Ajmal come back on shortly here and try and really break this partnership and get the key wicket. Cambo, a little smile on Ryan Campbell's face. We haven't seen too many of those over the past couple of weeks. Ryan Campbell, as he tries to reorganise his life for a move to the Netherlands.
Worse places to live than Amsterdam.
Yeah, you're right, but there'll be just a little bit of excitement now in that Hong Kong Island United camp.
This one's punched out into the offside. May think about a single, but wisely suggest that it's a bad idea. As Jordan just punches that one out into the covers as Ishan Khan runs in to do the fielding. Another dot ball. This has been a fantastic over so far from Tanveer Afzal. One run and a wicket from that Tanveer Afzal over. It's absolutely fantastic. His fielding so far, bowling figures so far, 2 overs, 8 runs and 1 wicket. He's bowled 5 hugely valuable dot balls. The spin of Ishan Khan to be bowling to Nicholas Pooran. The six-hitting West Indian. That one is chopped away towards Daniel Pascoe at backward point for no run. Oh, and that one is gone. An absolutely massive hit. I think that one might end up on the Tin Quan Road. I'm told what I've been saying to my taxi driver in the morning is Tin Quan Do, and there's going to be someone out there that's going to be gaining a cricket ball unless it gets tossed back to us. It's gone over the top of the grandstand there. Yet another 6 for Nicholas Pooran. And there's another one. Is he going to get caught? Oh, great effort from Muncie. I thought that one was gone for all money. Great dive from Muncie, but he had no chance there.
Pooran is getting that percentage back up.
Another 2 in this over.
So dangerous, Nicholas Pooran. They've got to get rid of him. Hong Kong Island United. He got right underneath that one. Jamie Atkinson's gone, that's going for 6. Oh, wait, is it? Great reaction there. Now he's really, looks like he's just going to launch here, Pooran.
Gets a single to bring Chris Jordan back down onto strike.
You've got to break this partnership, Hong Kong Island United. This is the key phase of the game. Get through these two. Just looking across here. He's got the pads on. It's like Ryan Buckley. About a bit. But not nearly the hitting power that's in there right now. So if they can get rid of one or ideally both of these two, they can keep them under 150. Smart batting from Jordan. That was what Azaz Khan probably needed to do, was just work the ball, get Pooran on strike. He's 20 off 8 balls, 3 sixes.
The first time I came across Nicholas Pooran was when he was playing in that Champions League 2020 tournament for Trinidad and Tobago. The Red Force, as they were called then, which are an absolutely fantastic side. Dwayne Bravo, Pooran, Pollard.
That's the length to bowl. Nissan Khan. That ends the over. Score is 84 for 5 at the 10 over mark.
So we have the scorecard there. 2 big wickets right at the top of Carl Kurtzer and Tilakaratne Dilshan. And then Aizaz Khan for 6 off 12 balls. He never really got going today, did he, the City Kaitak captain? A golden duck for Waqas Barkat. And then Gareth Hart, 22 from 14. But the real danger man now is going to be Nicholas Pooran. He's got 21 off 10, 18 of those runs coming from 6s.
Shows that he's just waiting for his ball, Pooran, as soon as it's pitched up. And it's just bunted strongly into the deep cover boundary from Jordan. No fuss from him. He knows there's plenty of time for City Kaitak to come up with a big score here if these two can get in. And I just wonder, we've got the overs there, Peter, back to that screen for us there. Just seeing who's got overs. I mean, Badri's got 1 over left. And I think Syed Ajmal has 2 overs left. So they've got 3 of these last 10, I guess, only, which might be a little bit of a concern. Well, that's up in the air. This should be taken. This could be a huge wicket. Oh, it's taken. Jamie Atkinson, they all came in and collided. It bounced off the gloves of Jamie Atkinson. Samuel Badri had the fast enough reactions to take the catch, and that is a massive wicket in this game and the tournament.
That's huge. That could be the moment that gets Hong Kong Island United into the final against Kowloon Cantons at 2 o'clock today. You were hoping if they were going to get to something really, really impressive, it was going to be Nicholas Pooran that got them there. Fantastic camera work there. That brings us those pictures.
Yeah, just...
It's great.
That is a great shot. Fantastic work from the cameraman there. The ball bouncing off the gloves of Jamie Atkinson and into the hands of Samuel Badgery. Look at the reaction of Tanvir Afzal. He's happy at this point. Now he's getting worried once he sees 3 fielders converging. Jamie Atkinson. We've got to have to show that one to Jamie Atkinson a little later on.
Fantastic moment there in the match. I've just seen Matt Stiller, the match referees, come in to have a look at the replay screen on our monitor here. Wants to see what happened there as well. It's Riyad Emrit, another West Indian that's come into the batting crease now. Cannons into Chris Jordan's pads. Riyad Emrit, 35 years old now, the new batsman. Played 2 ODIs for the West Indies back in 2007, both of them against India. That's a full ball that's chopped out into the leg side. Munir Dar, the 42-year-old Hong Kong international, does the fielding. He was in the World T20 squad back in 2014 when Hong Kong had that fantastic win against Bangladesh. Excellent back of the length ball from Tanvir there that Riyad Emrit defends out onto the offside. Just looking at that team that Riyad Emrit played against on his ODI debut against India. You know, Gautam Gambhir, Suresh Raina, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, Yuvraj Singh. Some of the great names of Indian cricket in that team. So, to give you an idea of those last 2 overs from Tanvir Afzal, he's conceded 3 runs and taken 2 wickets. He's now bowled 3 overs, 2 for 10, which is an absolutely fantastic effort from the Hong Kong man. Exciting now, I've managed to catch the eye of Charlie Burke, the outgoing director of cricket here at Hong Kong Cricket. Hello Charlie, how are you?
Very well, thanks Peter. Bit nervous this morning when I woke up. There's a bit of rain around, but the ground staff have done a good job and the outfield has held up nicely, so we've not lost any time or any overs, which is good.
Carl Christie coming on to bowl now. That one's driven up the ground. Be excited to see how young Kyle does when he goes to Bangladesh to play against in this Emerging Nations tournament in the coming months.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's, on his own admission, needs to really work on bowling in subcontinent conditions and bowling on slower wickets. He's a very useful bowler on the quicker, bouncier wickets, and we saw that in the PNG series and when he played for us in the warm-up matches in the Big Bash. Got another change in commentary now as well. Peter Miller stepping out to do his other part of the job and write some stories and interview people. Got the head coach, Simon Cook. Welcome.
Thanks very much. As we just have a look here at the recent dismissal of Nicholas Pooran. High ball going up, and I think there's three of them having a go at that, and very, very fortunate in the way to get that wicket. You see a short ball there from Kyle Christie.
I think that's the great thing about franchise cricket. You've got 3 different nationalities there going for the ball, all probably different accents and don't know each other that well, and coming together, clashing together, and Badgery holds on to it.
Yeah, communication's interesting in that situation, with also a bit of noise, bit of crowd in influencing them as well.
You would have played a bit against Chris Jordan, I would imagine, Cookie, when you were playing county cricket?
Yeah, came up against him first time when he was playing for Surrey, and young lad coming through. He's very, very good talent coming through, but he suffered a lot with injuries as a fast bowling all-rounder in his early years, and ended up leaving Surrey and going down to Sussex, and has really come on leaps and bounds since he's made that move, and has now become a very, very good international cricketer. As we see Kyle Christie just trying to get the ball a bit fuller underneath Chris Jordan, and he can just squeeze it out to Ehsan Khan at short mid-wicket. Yeah, he's starting to make a name for himself around the world as a premier, certainly T20 bowler. I know he wants to play more ODI cricket and Test cricket, but his skills have really come to the fore, certainly over the last 12, 18 months. He's an underrated batter as well, actually. He's a very good batsman.
That was going to be my next question. To me, he's almost fits the genuine all-rounder role.
Yeah, he is genuine all-rounder. He's as we say, very, very good good bowler, and can get more than useful runs down the order, and his fielding is outstanding. He's probably one of the best slip fielders in the English game. And we've seen here he's taken a couple of good catches, and he patrols the deep mid-on, deep mid-off boundary when he's in T20. So almost the complete all-round package.
In your opinion, what does he need to do to chuck on the blue cap and play Test cricket for England? What's the difference? What does he need to do there?
I think it's about basically making sure that he can repeat skills over and over and over again in the longer form of the game. It's about longevity. He who can do their skill the most consistently will generally be the better players, and that's what you see in Test cricket. T20 cricket, like we say, we've seen he's got good skills in going around and bowling different balls at different points in the game, but can he run in and hit line and length more and more consistently at a good pace? And that's probably his biggest challenge going forward, to getting into the Test side. There's still quite a few bowlers probably ahead of him at the moment. Chris Wokes, for example, is probably his biggest stumbling block. He's come into that Test side and really grabbed that spot by the scruff of the neck. He bowls high 80s, early 90s. He's a good all-rounder. But then Chris Jordan's ahead of him in the one-day game. So we see Tamir Afzal back into the attack, and plugging away on that good back of a length, which he found yesterday on the slightly newer wicket. And he was very successful yesterday and came back with probably his strongest game in the tournament so far, and he's backed it up again here.
One of the highlights for me has been that running between wickets of the international players, which has been of high standard.
Yeah, you'd expect it to be pretty high standard in terms of intent and wanting to get back for two. It's not a big ground here, and there aren't too many twos on offer, but if you can push hard, you can poke it into the gaps, get it around the 30-yard circle, there is still an option to run two. The other thing the thing that's impressed me as well is the intent in the field, and Misbah al-Haq in this innings in particular. We see if we can see that his intent to want to get the ball is incredible. And I don't know if we can get a camera onto Misbah ul Haq just as the ball's about to be bowled, but he gets into some really, really strong positions, and the intent that he shows everyone else in the outfield is a great lesson going forward for our national players in particular, because it is something that we've worked on very hard over the last 12 months.
Inside edge there, just half a peel. It's a great bit of running there again, just what we talked about, getting two there. They often talk about getting in the 30-yard circle, and if a fielder out, being able to get two. There's a great bit of running there.
Yeah, that's right. Now, here we go. We're going to see a replay of this running here, and they push hard and make that decision nice and early, touch in and go. And it turns into a pretty easy two in the end. Looks like they're going to push hard again here. Munir Dar coming around. He's going to cut two off this time.
Bit of fielding there. Important to get to the ball quick, and that's end of the over. City Kaitak 95 for 6 after 13. Decent start here, decent platform. There's the wickets in hand are going to be the issue here for them. But I was fortunate enough last night, Cookie, to go to dinner with the Hong Kong Island United guys last night, and one thing that really stood out to me was to see the national squad players, Ehsan Khan, Tanvir Afzal, Jamie Atkinson, these guys just listening so intently to Misbah and Sage Ajmal, who were clearly giving a lot of advice and a lot of leadership, and it was really good to see last night. And Ehsan Khan said to me on the bus on the way back to TST, back to their hotel, that how much he had learned just from that couple of hours. Just so important, isn't it? You've got the on-field stuff that you can learn, but also off-field, just the great conversations and advice that they get given from the international players, which is only going to help the development of our national squad.
As you see, Ehsan Khan coming into the attack and getting the ball nice and full, and Emirates just poking the ball down to long on. There's a bit of a calm here before I think they're going to try and launch again, probably going into the last 3 overs of this game. But yeah, you're right. It's you can't buy this really. I mean, you go around the world and go to various auctions, and you see auction prizes of a dinner out with an international player, and they go for thousands of pounds. And these guys have had so many opportunities during this week to sit down with these international players and learn so much. And you're right, it's not just the learning on the field, it's the conversations that happen off the field. I know Carl Christie had dinner with Ian Bell the other night on his own. Oh, that's a chance. We're going to say it's a missed stumping opportunity there. They're appealing for a caught behind, but I think it's come off the pad, so it's not out. But then I think Jamie Atkinson's missed the stumping opportunity, which may prove a bit costly.
Yeah, I don't think he got any bat on that. Maybe a bit of advice from Saeed Ajmal last night. It's just sparing Ehsan on here. He's bowling pretty well here, getting the right pace.
Yeah, and I think the advice is good. That's coming from all these players, and Chris Carter had a conversation with Chris Carter yesterday, and he was saying it's amazing how these guys think. They think very differently, the international players. And I was saying to him that he needs to ask the questions why they're doing things, not just learning. Okay, they're doing something different. So I'm not sure he's going to get any response for that appeal. Pitching outside leg stump and probably missing a second set. As we see that missed stumping chance, he's going up for the catch, but definitely coming off the pad, and probably could put that down as a missed opportunity. But yeah, it's a case of of actually asking why they're doing things, not just seeing what they're doing differently, but what's the thinking behind why they're doing it. And that's where the conversations off the field really take root. So we see Ehsan Khan appealing there, pretty optimistic appeal.
Cole Christie is going to continue from the Lion Rock end. He heads back to Perth tomorrow, back to his city where he lives, born in Hong Kong, and then he'll be on a plane in a few weeks' time to represent Hong Kong in the Emerging Teams Cup in Bangladesh against the under-23 test sides. In at Emirates. Oh, some drop catch then, Coogie.
Yeah, we'll put that down as a drop catch. Pretty harsh. I think balls hit back that hard against bowlers, whether spinners or fast bowlers. Very difficult to change direction, and it's one of those where your hand goes out, and if they stick, they stick. But I think we'll probably pretty fair to say he saved 3 runs.
Still money in the tin. Drop catch. So Chris Jordan on strike here. Oh, swing and a miss. I don't mind that length, actually.
I think that's a good length for him to bowl, particularly at this end where the ground is very short. It's around 53 metres. The square boundary is a lot bigger, and you prefer to be hitting over the deep square boundary where Misbah al-Haq is patrolling than getting hit back over your head.
He's got 3 out. Deep mid-wicket, deep square, long on. Kyle Christie to Jordan. And he's used that short boundary straight. It's gone all the way. That's a beautiful shot from Chris Jordan.
Yeah, just like what we said, he's gone a little bit full, and you don't really want to be effectively poked down the ground for 6. It's a very good shot by Chris Jordan, but the percentages are all really with him there. If he can get half a bat on that, it's going to go for 6. Where he's actually got to get a good part of it to hit it out the ground square. And with Kyle Christie being able to mix up his pace, drag it down, a few cutters, slower balls, and mix it up that way, I think he's got more chance of success.
Oh, that's a great effort there from Munsey. We've seen a few efforts like that in this tournament over the last few days. Held up in the air for a while, but Jordan manages to clear the rope as we have a quick look at the replay here. Munsey just awareness of where the rope is. Good effort there in front of the analyst, Chris Pickett.
Yeah, and again, it's just got a little bit full and just allow Chris Jordan to get too much on it. Misbah al-Haq just giving Kyle Christie some reassuring words and pat on the shoulder and a good luck, and off you go again. But it's so difficult. If you miss your Yorker by inches here, you're potentially paying the price.
So the hundreds come up in this over. 2 consecutive 6s. City Kaitak move on to 111 for 6. We've got 2 balls remaining in the 15th over. Christian again at Jordan. Foolish delivery again. Knocked to the cover region. They scamper through for a quick single. What do you think Ryan Campbell, the Hong Kong Island United coach, what do you think he would be okay with trying to chase in obviously about 17.5 overs to try and get their net run rate up?
Yeah, I think they don't want to chase more than about 160, I don't think. As a total that they need to try and get over the line. But I think they would be really happy with where they are at this point in the innings. The dangerous Nicholas Pooran is out. They've got to get Chris Jordan out here. If they can do that, they've got a real good chance of restricting them to even under 150.
Yeah.
But the next 3 or 4 overs is going to be a really key period in this game. setting this up. City Kai Tak was here, just need to win the game to assure themselves of a place in the final. But there's they've showed a little bit of nerves in this inning so far, and yeah, I think probably at this stage of the game you'd be quite happy as the Hong Kong United coach.
Yeah, just saw him on camera there. He was often the coach will have something in their hands, stop the nerves. Had a cricket ball in his hand there. So Badgery's on from the Victoria Harbour end. Just gets a bit of turn. He's a very useful T20 cricketer. Saw him open the bowling from the Lion Rock end at the start of this match. He'll be obviously a big key to keeping City Kai Tak to a score that Hong Kong Island United feel that they could chase down. Badgery again. In it, Jordan. Won't mind these singles at the moment, Hong Kong Island United.
Yeah, and this is Badgery's last over. So again, the thinking starts to turn towards which bowlers you're going to target now at the end. City Kai Tak will be thinking about who they've got to negotiate. Side Ajmal, who's been the most successful bowler so far in this tournament. Oh, that's close, that's close.
It's a good decision there. It's trapped him on the crease. Badgery, useful wicket that one, as Emirates is on his way.
Yeah, that's a very, very useful dismissal there. And Ryan Buckley is now going to be making his way to the crease for, I believe, the first time in this tournament, with quite a bit of work to do. He's got quite a calm head on his shoulders, and I think he'll probably be just trying to give the strike to Chris Jordan and seeing what he can do. But I was saying, going back to what I was saying earlier about targeting certain bowlers, and they got 2 overs to negotiate with Syed Ajmal, who's consistently proved in this tournament he's the best bowler, most difficult bowler to score off. His economy rates, I would guess, and I don't know this, but I would guess they're probably one of the lowest around. And that's going to come into the thinking of what target score they can get to.
Just as you said then, Cookie, with Ryan Buckley coming to the crease, it's one of those games where there's a lot of pressure for batters that may not have batted yet in this tournament, because it's crucial to make sure that they don't fall away here, City Kai Tak. The difference between them getting that 160, 170 that we've talked about versus maybe being bowled out for 140. Got to be smart here, so Buckley's going to have to support Jordan here to allow Jordan to be able to go pretty big. I'm assuming Jordan's probably going to knock it around a bit for a couple of overs now with another loss of a wicket. So Buckley starts with a dot ball. So Jordan is 21 off 20 deliveries. Those 2 sixes started moving him on his way.
It's interesting how Ryan Buckley's setting up here. Samuel Badgery's not a big spinner of the ball. He more relies on that ball coming in towards leg stump. And Ryan Buckley started with a guard standing outside leg stump, try and access the offside a little bit more, which potentially can be a little bit tricky if he bowls googlies or runs the ball into leg stump, because he ends up hitting against the line of the ball. See a googly there, just getting his length slightly wrong. Bowling a little bit short and allowing Ryan Buckley to get off the mark.
It's very useful over that. Picks up the wicket. Only 3 off it. Badgery completes his spell.
Yeah, solid spell again from you. That's what you're looking for from your overseas players. As we look at the scorecard, running down, Carl Coetzee got them off to a really good start, 19 off 13. And then a spate of wickets ended up stalling the City Kai Tak innings, and then Gareth Hart, Nicholas Purand tried to get the innings going again. Nicholas Purand with 3 huge sixes, and leaves us where we are now at 116 off 16 overs. So 4 overs to go, and the dangerous Chris Jordan still in at the crease at the moment, 21 off 20. Carl Christie to carry on to Ryan Buckley. Changes length, going back of a length. doing exactly what's required, getting Chris Jordan back on strike. I wonder if Carl Christie will change his length here after being deposited out the ground over his head in the last over twice.
It's interesting, Mispa's just moved Essan, who's at deep mid-wicket, and Munir Dar, who's at deep square. Just move them a bit squarer, so it's an indication. And long on is also a bit wider, so indication there that the length that Mispa wants Christie to bowl. Hard into the deck, back of a length. Let's see what he can produce here.
He's gone full again, and maybe it's the double bluff.
He's got me on that one. Just having a quick look at the leading wicket takers. Cookie got Syed Ajmal. He's obviously playing in this game. He's taken 8 wickets, economy of 6.85.
I think that's outstanding on this ground, on these wickets.
And you've got Yasser Arafat, 7 wickets, economy rate of 8.18, which is still pretty good on this surface. And the only, although the top local bowler is Ashley Caddy, who's on the fringe of representing Hong Kong in the national squad, yet to play full international, but he's taken 6 wickets. His economy rate's probably a bit higher than he would like, just over 12.
Whoa, that's a high full ball, and everyone's looking towards the umpires to see if it was a no ball, and they're just going to signal 4 leg byes. It's very, very close to being over hip height, which would have resulted in a free hit, but Carl Christie's could say he's got away with that.
Well, he's definitely got away with that one, in my opinion. So Carl Christie in it. Chris Jordan goes out length, and it's just gone over the rope. And that's the maximum. Chris Jordan looking dangerous in these last few overs.
Yeah, and these are all vital runs for City Kai Tak, who are looking possibly a little bit below par. They're a team that have consistently scored high totals, and these are vital runs here, and coming at a good rate as well.
So Kyle Christie, 2 wickets in this tournament, economy of 10.14.
Yeah, Kyle Christie, he's getting a bit. It looks like he's very nervous in his action. He's getting very short and very tight, and it's not allowing him to execute what he needs to execute with, which is either these full Yorkers, which is what Misbah is trying to get him to bowl, or he's really banging the ball into the pitch. So you see there, he's just not fully committing to his action. He's a little bit nervous, almost letting go with it, letting go of the ball in hope rather than expectation of success.
So we've got 2 overs left from Syed Ajmal, 1 from Ehsan Khan. Still got 3 left from Pascoe and 1 left from Christie. So you'd imagine Syed Ajmal he's on right now actually, so he'll bowl the last 2 overs from the Victoria Harbour end. And you'd imagine maybe Ehsan Khan take the pace off the ball, and the bowl from the Lion Rock end next over, or the 19th over.
Yeah, they've got a few options still, but Syed Ajmal will take up the mantle right now. Yeah, and it's Ryan Buckley plays the sensible create, just gets Chris Jordan back on strike, and yeah, this Syed Ajmal will bowl the last 2 at this end, and I think with Samuel Badri having bowled out, I think they're going to have to look at Ehsan Khan or Tamer Afzal. I don't think they'll go back to Carl Christie.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to be Ehsan Khan from the Lion Rock end. See if Misbah is on the same page as me.
top edge there. And it's going to be taken very safely by Dan Pascoe down on the deep backward square boundary, and that is a huge wicket at this point in the game.
Yeah, that's a massive wicket. That's really going to help the the Hong Kong Island United cause here. Syed Ajmal now 9 wickets. No, that's his 10th wicket, I think, of the tournament. Good catch there from Dan Pascoe. He's taken a couple in this tournament, right in front of the Peroni tent.
You know the reason why I think Syed Ajmal has been the most successful bowler in this tournament? It's because he doesn't let the batsman get near the ball. When he's bowling his good length, it's dropping outside the batsman's eye line. It's either dropping short of them so they can't reach it and they're hitting and they're ending up having to scoop the ball up in the air, or he's getting wide outside their eye line on the offside and they can't extend their arms through the ball. And he's just a smart bowler. He's seen a change of action. He's had to modify his action a little bit. But you can still see he's so smart as a bowler.
Syed Ajmal to Ryan Buckley as they crossed. Anka Sharma is Anka Vasista, I should say. Changed his name recently. He's at the non-strikers. Got 28 on the back of his shirt. He also hasn't done a lot of batting in this tournament, so Hong Kong Island United in a good position at the moment. Quicker, wider delivery there from Ajmal. So we're going to see who we're going to see open the batting. We're going to see Atkinson and Bell.
I think they've been going with up front. They've been going with Jamie Atkinson generally. And yeah, Ian Bell's had. Oh, that's a good shot. Slog sweep. He's got plenty of that. Good shot there by Ryan Buckley. Ball going into the corporate hospitality tents. That'll make him feel a little bit better.
Be interesting to see Ajmal's comeback ball here after being slog swept for 6 over towards the Cowling Cantons box.
One of your favourite pieces of cricket there, hitting a 6 and then getting a 1 next ball.
Yeah, big fan of that. I get teased a fair bit about it, but it's one of the great parts of the game. You see a boundary plus a scoring shot. Keep cricket simple.
And here we see the standings table, and the Cowling Cantons have secured their place in the final. They did that yesterday, and we can see what an important game this is between City Kai Tak and Hong Kong Island United, with City Kai Tak only needing to win this game, not having to worry about run rates or anything else. Really, the pressure's all on Hong Kong Island United, but City Kai Tak right under the gun at this point in the game.
Yeah, we were talking about it before, weren't we, Cookie? It's putting our coaching hats on. Is that as a coach, you've got to keep it very simple, and the message would be from Usman Manj, the City Kai Tak coach, to boys, let's just worry about getting over the line, winning this game. Don't worry about net run rates.
And Misbah ul-Haq has kept faith with Carl Christie. And the ball's just unfortunately been put right into the slot of Ryan Buckley, and he's launched that one right out of the screws over the deep mid-wicket boundary.
So Christie again to Buckley. Full knock down the ground. Fielded by Dan Pascoe there. Geez, in the context of this tournament, these next 10 deliveries are pretty important, aren't they, Cookie?
Yeah, they are, absolutely. And I think that ball just there that Kyle's bowled, I think that's exactly what Misbah is asking Kyle to bowl. It's that leg stump Yorker. not quite got it right so far in these last 8 deliveries.
So Unker on strike, foolish delivery, not to mid-wicket. They'll just get the one there. Fielded there by Ehsan Khan, who I thought was going to bowl this over, but Misper and I have got different plans. That's why he's out there as captain and I'm sitting in the commentary box.
Oh, we'll soon see, won't we? Who's right and who's wrong at the end of this this over.
Buckers on the back of his shirt. Would he have requested that, Cookie, or is there a bit of a mix-up there with his nickname and his surname?
Well, bowled by Kyle Christie. Like I said, it's that leg stump Yorker that Misbah is looking for him to bowl, and that's a perfect example of good execution.
Just while Kyle's going back to his mark, the leading run scorers for the tournament, we've got Kyle Kutzer, who played in this game earlier, 191, and Smith from the Cantons, also on 191. Yes. Both of those would want to hope that they're, well, Smith's definitely playing in the final, and potentially Kutzer as well.
Yeah, another outstanding delivery there by Kyle. Amazing, isn't it? As soon as they're facing a non-international cricketer and the pressure's off, suddenly they can execute their skills. You know, his action looks much freer. He feels he can actually deliver a skill that he's trying to deliver. And that's, again, another great learning experience from this tournament is, can you deliver your skill in any situation, not just when it's easy.
Absolutely. Christian again. Unker Vasista on strike. Let's turn that into a full toss. Flick that behind square. Munir Dar using his feet there and mopped up. Tambi Afsal, one of the general admission area, which is getting fuller and fuller as the morning goes on. End of the over there, and City Kaitak 154 for 8 going into the last over, with Sage Ajmal to bowl the last over from the Victoria Harbour end.
Yeah, they look on target for that 160-ish kind of score, which gives Hong Kong United, I believe, a really good chance of chasing down probably around a 140 score in around that kind of 107 ball mark.
Good decision there from the umpire, in my opinion.
Yeah, so it's going to give them around 140, I think, just kind of calculations in my head. It's going to be around 140 off 107 balls for Hong Kong United to get into this final. Oh. Like we see there, he's not let him get anywhere near the ball there, and it's a big swing, taking the pace off nicely, but still not let him get anywhere near the ball, and he's just towed it back over Saeed Ajmal's head.
So, City Kaitak currently second on the table. They have 2 wins. Hong Kong Island United, the 1 win at the moment. Lots to play for.
And a pretty straightforward catch there, Kyle Christie. Saeed Ajmal again proving what a dangerous cricketer he is in this format. Just dragging the ball down, not letting Ankur Sharma get anywhere near it, and all he can do is just poke it out to deep mid-wicket. Now, Hong Kong Island United have got to be very, very happy with this total. Could have been slightly less, but I think they'll take trying to chase down roughly around a 160 score on this ground, on this wicket.
Nadeem Ahmed is the new batsman, the left arm Hong Kong spinner. I believe he'll be at the non-strikers. Believe the batter's crossed.
Looks like this is going to be another catch. You're going to have 2 wickets in 2 balls. Saeed Ajmal's march as leading wicket taker in this tournament carries on. And the City Kaitak innings has completed now. And maybe they're going to rue not using all of these balls up. It looks like they've panicked a little bit.
Yeah, criminal. You can't not face 20 overs. You must face those 20 overs. So they're going to be disappointed with that, the coaching staff, and Azaz Khan, the captain of City Kaitak. So all out 155. City Kaitak. So we have a 10-minute change of innings here. Kyle Christie, a couple of good catches in the deep there. And Saeed Ajmal goes well on top of the leading wicket takers board, which I'll have a quick look at in a moment. Cookie, all to play for. There's the scorecard.
Yeah, so we're, like we say, they were looking pretty good there at one point. Carl Kurtzer going nicely up front, and then a few quick wickets stalled the innings. Chris Jordan, Nicholas Pooran really started to get the innings going again, and a good innings by Ryan Buckley at the end, 20 off 15 balls, but they've ended up being bowled out short of the 20 overs, and that could end up proving costly. So 156 for Hong Kong United to chase, and if they can chase this down pretty quickly, they could find themselves into the final on net run rate. And I think we've got Catherine out with Samuel Badri after the innings just finished.
Yes, thank you, Will. Sammy, 155. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, definitely we're happy with that. I think it's a good first half. Obviously, we just need to find out exactly what we need to do in order to qualify, and hopefully the batsmen could go and finish off the job, get us into the finals.
And what's been Misbah's message to you guys?
Oh, just to take wickets. I think that's key on this ground. If we keep getting wickets, you keep pegging back the opposition. So I think his message was always attack, try to get as many wickets as you can, so it becomes easier at the back end of the inning.
And finally, how are you finding being back on the original wicket?
Oh, it's much better there. I think the field is a bit more balanced. Obviously, the short boundaries are still short. But yeah, it's good to be there, so at least you have some leverage on both sides.
Sammy, thanks so much for your time and good luck.
Cheers.
And we'll see you back here for Hong Kong United to see if they can chase down 156 runs and to secure their place in the final of the DTC T20 Blitz. See you soon.
I'm excited, Max.
Yes, it's all really heading towards an exciting finish. Here, we believe 17.5 overs is the mark.
Yeah, that's correct. 106 balls is the unofficial stats that we've done. Very exciting.
Well, the thing is, it's not an official. Well, isn't Charlie Kinnear actually announced it officially or not?
So we've got Tilakaratne Dilshan to open the bowling. George Munsey, who's been looking good early and finding ways to get out in this tournament, but starts with a dot. Got Jamie Atkinson, the Hong Kong skipper, former skipper, the non-strikers, wearing 73 on his back. Little good bit of flight there, good shape as well from Dilshan. It's almost a elimination final here between these two. The pressure's on Hong Kong Island United to get it in 17.5 overs. Tilakaratne Dilshan just doing the job there. 3 dots to start with. So Tilakaratne Dilshan again, he started with 4 dots here. Couldn't ask for a better start really. It's getting some lovely shape actually, getting some little bit of drift to the left-hand bats of George Munsey. And Hong Kong Island United on their way with a single. I was thinking we may see a change in the batting order. I thought Bell might come up and Munsey come in at 3 or 4, but they've stuck to their plans, which is fair enough. You don't want to get some panic in for something that maybe not start to stress on things that you don't need to. It's Jamie Atkinson. Takes guard. Right-handed Jamie Atkinson starts with a delicate sweep. Quick single. Poor throw. These are overthrows.
That is costly.
That's costly. There's 2 big errors that City Kaitak have done. They didn't face their full 20 overs and then 4 overthrows. That could hurt them when it all comes down to the maths at the end and the net run rate. Good start here from Hong Kong Island United. Just getting those valuable 4 runs, overthrows. City Kaitak be disappointed with that. We have Chris Jordan open the bowling from the Lion Rock end. Generated a fair bit of pace in the first few games. Haven't seen a lot of him live, but I was impressed with the pace that he bowled. A bit quicker than I thought. Hits the deck nice and hard.
So just having a look at the action here. There's a resemblance to one of the greats that's been mentioned here with Chris Jordan. Just take another look. We'll take a look at Chris Jordan as he runs in, see if there's any resemblance. Little bit of Michael holding there.
Holds the ball up fairly high as he runs in, doesn't he? And that's Holding used to sort of present the ball nicely and then have that nice presentation of seam when it comes out of his wrist. Slap, really snaps that wrist on delivery. Jamie Atkinson getting the hit on the pads. First ball from Jordan, going down leg. Chris Jordan in again to Atkinson. It's a little bit of shape away from the right-handed Atkinson. Play and miss. Through to the keeper, Poran. Jeez, he looked dangerous yet again today. He hits a serious ball. So Jordan all to play for here. Up and at it to Atkinson. He knocks into mid-wicket. Plenty of dots early on from City Kaitak. A few nerves around.
So,
Chris Jordan in again from the line rock end to Jamie Atkinson. Knocks him over. That's a great nut. Middle stump is knocked back. Atkinson on his way. He's gone for a duck here. See the DTC mobile stumps, the furniture knocks back. Good delivery there. One Woodworm sponsored player, replaced by another, Ian Bell. He's got a big job here, Ian Bell.
yeah, it's going to be a big innings required from him. These overseas players have been left to do the bulk of the work for HKI United. It's probably been their downfall so far in the tournament. Their domestic players just haven't contributed enough for them to have the depth in their lineup. Jamie Atkinson is a very good player, just hasn't been able to get going thus far in the tournament. And Chris Jordan just sorting out his house behind him there, crashing it over.
First ball to fellow Englishman, Ian Bell. Full of delivery. Go onto the front foot, knocks in the cover. Fielded by Buckley, that's the end of the over. It's the second over.
We've got one to come here.
Sorry, got one to come, sorry.
So he's
Been
up,
a bit
Charlie.
excited there.
Yeah, it is very exciting. I can understand how that can happen. As we count down towards the final here of the DTC Hong Kong T20 Blitz. Just looking at Ian Bell's grip there. I never realised he holds it so far down the handle. It's been a great start from City Kaitak here. The job for HKI United is looking pretty difficult. They're going to have to get these runs very, very quickly now. They're pretty much needing 10 and over now if they're going to play in this final. You can see the City Kaitak boxes there. They had so many requests for. Looks like there's a few City Kaitak caps in the crowd, or at least they're the ones you notice. This ground really fills up here at Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground. It's easy to forget that we are playing here at Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground. It's almost not recognisable to how it normally sets up for a Hong Kong home match. This is no normal tournament, as Munsey's been more circumspect than normal. George Munsey has just gone for it from ball one and previous matches, but giving himself a few deliveries here to get in.
The thing also is that even though they've got to try and get these runs a bit quicker due to net run rate, you're not going to do it if you're 9, 10, and 11 are trying to do it at the end. So although you want to build a strong platform, you've also got to make sure that you've got the firepower there in the 14th, 15th, 16th overs to finish the job. I can confirm the umpire appointments for today's final. Zabir, who you can see on your screen, will be a reserve umpire. We have Clive Howard, who's also out there in the middle, and the Australian umpire John Ward. They'll officiate in today's final, which gets underway at 2 p.m. Hong Kong time.
It's going to be huge. It's quite exciting now that we're getting close to the climax of this competition. Ian Bell this is good pressure building here on Hong Kong Island United.
You can feel it, can't you? You can really feel that pressure. Great atmosphere here at the ground.
Just haven't, outside of Misbar's 2 innings, they had. And that's into the gap. Although coming across very quickly was Chris Jordan, who cut it off. He flew around that from long on to deep mid-wicket very quickly there. They just haven't had anyone Hong Kong Island outside of Misbar who's really got going.
It was a difficult start for Bell. He topped one on the foot in the first game and hobbled around a bit yesterday. They obviously didn't play the first day, Hong Kong Island United, so they've played every day since.
It's hit powerfully by Munsey, but straight out to Jordan, so... So a very circumspect start, only on 9 runs after 3 overs, Hong Kong Island United. So they're now needing to really get a rig long, 140 odd required in 13, 14 overs. They're going to have to get on their bike, Charlie. Just get the feeling that they might have almost mucked this before it's begun with the way they've started this run chase. Doesn't seem to have been any real intent to get out and ahead of the run rate.
Yeah, again, I just thought they might have mixed the order around a little bit. Maybe the worst option, even put Munir Dar in for the power play. Loves to hit over mid-wicket and long on. With only 2 fielders out, you might have just got a quick 30 for you, a quick 40, get you underway. So change of bowler here. Chris Jordan hand the reins over to Emmerich, who'll bowl from the Lion Rock end. You've got Clive Howard officiating from the bowler's end there. George Munsey on strike.
Can't get going here, Munsey. He's got off to a flying start in the match. Played yesterday against Calvin Canton before being dismissed. Quite found his groove just yet. I mean, saying that, run rate of 10, 11 and over, someone like George Munsey when he gets into gear is no issue.
Yeah, and that man on your screen, or the man that was on your screen, Ian Bell, is going to have to something special here. I've got a feeling it's going to have to be Bell or Misbah that are going to have to get firing.
Delivery hammered, but straight at the fielder. There's a slight misfield, which will allow a single. Azaz Khan, that'll be ringing the hands.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly this morning as well. Would have felt that.
At least a little warmer, I think, than the days previous today.
Yeah, even the outfield was a bit wet this morning with some overnight rain, but it seems to have dried up a little bit.
19 degrees, getting up to 21 this afternoon. That'll be about as warm as it's been through the tournament. It's been a funny 5 days, just it's been identical every day. The same cloud cover, not really any rain. Cool breeze.
Yeah, groundsmen have not been able to relax at all. They've been kept on their toes the whole time. The threat of rain here and there, but I think we'll be pretty good today.
Bell advances, but I think Ride might have seen him coming and shortened his length and got it wide outside the off stump. But the intent there from Ian Bell as he looks down at that Woodworm bat. Of course, Woodworm also sponsors of the Hong Kong cricket team, so good to see Ian Bell on the side of the good guys.
Yeah, it's actually his own range as well. Ryan Webb, who's a former Warwickshire teammate, designed the blue Woodworm, the Ian Bell range.
Bell gets that one. That's straight back over the bowler's head for 6. That's what was needed for Hong Kong Island United. He's just stood, put his foot straight down the pitch and baseball shotted. Is that a word? Shotted? Just used a baseball shot to hit it straight over the head of the umpire for 6. That's more suitable to those softball courts that are just behind him, Charlie.
He's dealt with that one. It just shows that boundary of about 54 metres straight on this side. So Bell looking dangerous. Oh, full of length. Thought he might have maybe just taken the pace off a bit then. He might just run his fingers over it, a bit like a leg cutter. So just saw Tim Cutler in the background there of the shot. Not forgetting we've got Cutler Cam.
Yeah, there's a lot of sponsor interest in Cutler Cam after its debut yesterday. If you are interested. Maybe a KFC or McDonald's. Ooh, underage, well stopped there by Puran. I think there's a little underage. Munsey just, Rye Smile, he just can't quite get bat on ball at the moment.
He was telling me yesterday he's still feeling jet lagged, so Scotland a bit further away to Hong Kong than maybe I thought, but still feeling it. End of the over.
Cover just in time to go home and get used to make the adjustment to the Scottish time zone.
Good to see the City Kaitak fans there in their highlight yellow, and then we've got the Hong Kong Island United in the Peroni area. Got Simon Millington there from Woodworm in the white shirt there, along with his 2 sons, David and James. And good to see those people getting into the Peroni area.
Ashley Caddy with the sunglasses on today, the Hung Hom JD Jaguars paceman who has gone viral in Pakistan for his role in Misbah's 6 marathon. Chris Jordan, what a player and what a buy he's been for City Kaitak. The bat and the ball. He's certainly been in the conversation for man of the tournament, I'd have thought.
Yeah, we've actually got 3 players on 5 votes. Jordan being one of them, Misbah or Huck.
Well, that's sweetly struck from Ian Bell. That's going all the way for 6 down to the Volunteers tent, where they've been enjoying the cricket down there, and they can toss the ball back in because Ian Bell is warming to the task here.
Sort of bowled that. Just floated out of his hand there, Jordan. Slower ball. Dealt with over long on.
He's clearing the front leg, and then love the arrogance of the look down after hitting the ball. And up again. He's got a big piece of this one, Ian Bell. That's out of here. Onto the roof and into the softball courts over there. You can see the actions taking place. The local softball league wearing helmets for good reason. I wonder what those guys are thinking over there on the softball courts when they get these balls hit into their court. We're not getting any softballs over here, so they must think we're doing something pretty special.
Yeah, Jordan's brought 3rd man up. Drops back long on.
This is a very important over for HKI United against Chris Jordan, one of the bankers for City Kaitak.
Smart cricket there from Bell. Got long on and long off back, and just knocked it down the ground. 13 off 3 deliveries to Belt, who's going to be crucial in this run chase if Hong Kong Island United are any chance of making it into today's final.
Well, that's what by the big grumpy Chris Jordan. Put a little bit of extra into that delivery.
George Munsey, Scottish international, just playing this outside off. As Max has talked about earlier, he's just taking his time into this innings. So Chris Jordan from the Victoria Harbour end, got a deep square and a long off for George Munsey.
And that's up in the air. It should be taken, and the first wicket goes down. Second wicket goes down. George Munsey never quite got going in that innings, as I've seen him in previous outings. And this occasion, he just tried to take on Chris Jordan, who big wicket for City Kai-Tak.
We've got the great Misbah Orhak. He's come to join Ian Bell out in the middle, and these are the two guys that are going to be very important to Hong Kong Island United's chances of making it to the final.
Hong Kong Island United flags. Don't even get a shot over the Hong Kong Island flags and the general admission, but there's plenty of them waving over there. Their man Misbah. DTC come up with some unique merchandise. DTC shop. As we look at the crowd over there, you can see those Hong Kong Island United flags. And it's for this man, Misbah Orhak.
Sure the viewers streaming in from Pakistan would be hopeful this won't be the last innings that Misbah Orhak will be playing in this tournament. Got a big job to do for both Misbah Orhak and Ian Bell. Chris Jordan got that relatively new ball still in his hand from the Victoria Harbour end. Got a slip in at a sort of a second slip. Knocks it out to square legs, pick the single up.
That ends the over, 31 for 2 after 5. So we've effectively got a situation now where City Kai-Tak need about 10 runs and over. Pretty much ignore that 90 balls. What they need is 125 of 77 balls to reach the final. The Cricket Hong Kong box there by the look of it, and KPMG. Over the Kowloon Cantons, that'll be filling up. In fact, it's already pretty full. Looking to see who they're going to play in this final.
Yeah, as we know, we got the Kowloon Cantons. The Bubba Hyatt-led Kowloon Cantons booked their place in the final yesterday afternoon. The other spot is still up for grabs. One of these two teams will get that other spot in today's final as Azaz Khan comes on to bowl the skipper, City Kai-Tak. Imagine it would be pretty exciting for Azaz Khan, a young cricketer such as himself, to bowl to the likes of Misbah Orhak and Ian Bell.
Yeah, this is the big partnership here for Hong Kong Island United. Short ball and hammered by Misbah Orhak. That's disappearing That's a warning sign for City Kaichak. Misbah Al Haq missed out yesterday, but as we saw in the first two matches that Island United played, he is in very, very good form, and Azaz Khan just too short. Misbah Al Haq, just no regard at all for Azaz Khan's short delivery. Oh, inside edge, that's not far away. He'll sneak through for a quick single. Misbah, just such an important wicket here in this game and in this tournament. Fantastic that the way the draw has panned out to allow this sort of excitement to build, almost acting as a semi-final. Short delivery by Ian Bell, and that's hammered. Classy shot from Ian Bell. Hits it out to his teammates. He moves to 25 off 12 balls. A fantastic shot there from Ian Bell. He looks in better touch than he did yesterday when he made a half century, just striking the ball very cleanly. Short again and cut away, not far from the fielder, but they'll race away for another boundary. It's game on here. Tilakaratne Dilshan, we've seen him take some absolute screamers in that position at backward point in the past. That one just out of his reach. Full diving effort. Ian Bell, see his reaction. He was pretty comfortable. So 15 runs now from this over. Pressure on Azaz Khan as he steams in. Full toss, and that's slapped over cover. You can't bowl there. Will it go all the way? One bounce. Oh, and hits into the Cricket Hong Kong box there. A costly over here from Azaz Khan. That has got the Island United flags waving. This is going to come right down to the wire. The score here now is 50 for 2 after 6 overs. And with 11.5 overs left to make 155 runs. To make 105 runs. It's doable for Hong Kong Island United. They thought they were gone yesterday, but they are still in this competition. City Kaichak, they just need to pick up a couple of wickets.
Everyone, 50 comes up for Hong Kong Island United. 50 for the 50 for 2 after 6 overs.
So the crowd really enjoying this. Now Misbah Al Haq, can he give us another highlight in this tournament here in this run chase? Goes for the reverse sweep. Wasn't really there to be reverse swept, but still managed to get bat on it. Yes, he's 6 sixes. Recorded a couple of million views on YouTube, so it just shows the supportership as he gets that out to deep square where Ryan Emmerich fields the ball. Misbah Al Haq just shows how much he's loved around the world, and of course in Pakistan where he's worshipped. He's such a great player and a great leader for Pakistan cricket. So Nadeem Ahmed just gets a bit leg side-ish, and it gets around Dilshan, who should be able to cut it off. Jays didn't get much on the throw there. Dilshan. Nice smile from Nadeem Ahmed. They just pick up a couple. So Ian Bell He's on to 35 off 15 balls. Advances, didn't get to the length, but inside edges it. Misbar Huck was onto it. That would have been out. Slack running it there from Ian Bell. That could have cost him his wicket. It wasn't far away. And I think Ian Bell thought all the danger was with Misbar Huck, but could have had a nasty surprise. You can see he's just cruising here. I know he's got a bit of an injured foot. That would have been gone. Misbar just calmly works that into the onside. So not a bad over from Nadeem Ahmed here if he can avoid conceding a boundary. 4 runs off it in 4 balls. 5 runs in 5 balls, should I say? Short ball, and it's lofted over cover. There's a fielder out there, and Gareth Hart almost into the action again, but it bounces away for 4. Nadeem Ahmed looks like he's concerned with the positioning of the fielder. I'd love to see another angle of this, because Gareth Hart almost had his second screamer in as many days. Out to the deep square, just out of reach. Bangs into the LED boards for 4. That could have been a big moment. And it means there's 9 runs off the over, which is really the minimum that's required for Island United to keep things going. 59 for 2. And there's Amna Nakvi in the middle there with the red hat on. She's the CEO of Leonine Global. Looking a little nervous. Owners, of course, Islamabad United as well. Great to have their involvement in this tournament. Of course, Amna's living in Hong Kong. Misbar cuts that one. It was short and wide. Has he got it into the gap? There's a dive, and it's a great effort from Waka Sparkat. Keeps it to 2. And that gets the applause from Amna. This is a great effort from Waka Sparkat. Outstanding fielding. Amna a little bit disappointed in the background, but also applauding the fielding work. This ground really now filling up nicely as we just hit midday here go past midday here in Hong Kong. 4 ball flicked out to the leg side for 1 run. Misbar Huck, what a player he is, and what a tournament he's having so far. A big innings in this game. We might just see him among the favourites for the player of the tournament. He's certainly been the most popular among fans here. Bell. What a luxury for Hong Kong Island United right now to have 2 men with such experience at the crease in a pressure situation. Ian Bell, 34 years of age, 118 tests under his belt. Full delivery, just put beautifully off the pads. It'll only be a single, but timing exquisite from Misbar Huck. Can he lead his team to the final here? Islamabad United, they were the PSL champions in 2016. They bowed out early in the tournament just past, but they can have the ultimate consolation prize here in being crowned DTC Hong Kong T20 Blitz champions if they can get home in this game. And that's in the air and taken right over it. Ian Bell was just a fraction early on it, and that's a huge wicket. Ian Bell, ball just popping up a little. Great reactions from Ryan Amrit there. That could be the turning point in this game. Ian Bell just was looking to get on the front foot, but the ball was a fraction short. And Ryan Amrit gets the big wicket. You can see Ian Bell was just looking to get on the front foot. Looking down at the wicket, but Mandir Dar will be coming. Oh, here we go. Look at that take from Ryan Amrit. Great reaction as well. He's pumped. City Kaitak. They're right in this now. They're probably on top. Manir Dar just has a habit of playing important innings when it's needed. Did it against Bangladesh for Hong Kong when Hong Kong defeated the full member nation in the World T20 in 2014. Was with a quick fire 30 or 40 off 20 balls to help Hong Kong sneak over the line in a World Cup boil over. So 12 overs, in fact not even that, 10 overs remaining here for Hong Kong Island to get these runs. And they require 92 more. It's very doable. Just needs to stay there with Misbah Haq. Short delivery. Good bouncer from Ryan Amrit. That'll wake Manir Dar up. End of the over, 64 for 3. Now, yeah, Manir Dar, Misbah Haq holding the key as we take a look at the scorecard. Munsey and Atkinson missing out today. Munsey has been destructive up the top, but just couldn't find his timing today. Ian Bell, as you can see, a big wicket there, 41 off 19 balls. Some good touch. So Misbah Haq really holding the key, and Tanvir Afzal hasn't really got warm yet. The former Hong Kong skipper, he's got the ability to score very, very quickly. Got Dan Pascoe can hold the bat, but Misbah Haq hits in the air, but it's into the gap. No, it's not in the gap. Field around the angle for the commentary box, deceiving this commentator. Right, Amrit out in the fence there. Nadeem Ahmed got taken down by Dwayne Smith in the opening game, but has been very good since then. And as that's nudged into the onside by Misbah, in fact by Manir Dar. And of course the possibilities with how many balls that Hong Kong Island United need to chase this in. It's not as straightforward as you might think. Misbah knocks that into the onside, will pick up a single. 107 balls will be enough, but that will depend on if they hit a 4 or 6 off the last ball, get a couple of runs in front. City Kaitak score, but 106 balls will have them safe. So that's at 17.4 over mark. Short and wide from Nadeem Ahmed. That's hit out into the deep. Gareth Hart getting around quickly. Keep it to 2. Got away with that one. Nadeem Ahmed gave a bit of width. Manir Dar found the gap, but Hart's been a very good fielder patrolling that boundary. Reverse sweep from Manir Dar. He's hammered it. That's coming to the commentary box. And it smacks into it. The production box there. What a shot from Manir Dar. That is one of the shots of the tournament. He has reverse swept that for a huge 6. And Bell's Munsey going, seen that all the time. Missed that reaction there, but that was an unbelievable shot from Manir Dar. As I mentioned, he's got a habit of playing innings under pressure. Not bad to get some glove love from Misbah for that. Good batting from Manir Dar. Blood didn't boil, kept himself in check, just knocked a single, got down the other end. So 76 for 3 after 9 overs. What a shot that was. One of the shots of the tournament there, Charlie.
He's very clever, Munir Dar. He did it back in 2012 in an ACC T20 regional tournament. Player of the tournament from memory. Number of 6s, reverse sweeping. Very clever cricketer.
I was just saying he's got a habit of playing important innings when they're needed. I mentioned the Bangladesh innings in the World T20 in 2014, and as you look at that table, it's kind of irrelevant in one way, and that it's simple that Hong Kong Island United just need to win this in 17.4 overs to be assured, and 17.5 overs providing they get a couple of runs past the score of City Kaijak. It's never straightforward in cricket, is it, Charlie?
No, absolutely not, but that's what makes this game so special, doesn't it? Because you just get the feeling that Hong Kong Island United would probably chase this down. They would chase it down in 20 overs, but they've got the added pressure of having to get it in sort of 13 balls or less off the full allotment of 20.
Short delivery, and there's a big appeal, and he's been given. Chris Jordan strikes with the bouncer. That's a good tactic. And a big wicket. Manir Dar looking dangerous. Misbah just needs someone to stay with him, but who's it going to be?
You're right what you said earlier, Max. The local players are going to step up here. You've got to be, can't just leave it to Misbah and that. You need to just a little feather through the keeper there, but Dan Pascoe is the next batsman. He mixed their order around a bit this tournament. Hong Kong Island United, we had Ehsan Khan at 3 the other day, and Pascoe's now come up the order.
About the figures of Chris Jordan here. He's got 3 for 14 in 2.1 overs. Couple that with the fact that in the first innings, he made a valuable 34 off 25 balls. Top scoring. It's looking like a match-winning performance.
See Ehsan Khan there on the screen. He'll be the next batsman in when a wicket falls. Almost need to get the equation on the screen somehow. The balls remaining.
Well, there's another 80 runs required here. They need to. Dan Pascoe in the air, but just short of cover. Need to attack. You just got to knock around some singles.
There's no point just winning this game in 20 overs. They've got to go for it. Got to play with no fear and back themselves to get the job done here.
And they need Misbah on strike to Chris Jordan. It's a much better matchup than Dan Pascoe, who wouldn't have faced fast bowling of this quality. It's in the air, and it's in the gap.
Just
Gets off
sticking in the
strike.
wicket a bit.
Yeah, some players have indicated that.
Bit of hush around the ground at the moment. A few nerves. City Kaitak, 155 in their 20 overs. Hong Kong Island United. Must-win game for either side. Certainly City Kaitak, they win. They're through the final. Play the Cantons. Hong Kong Island United to do it in less than 18 overs to leapfrog City Kaitak to take on the Kowloon Cantons in the final. Dan Pascoe, just one not out. Misbah Huck, captain of the Hong Kong Island United. 17 off 13 deliveries, including that pull shot that he hit for 6 off Azaz Khan. Bit of chin music there from Chris Jordan to Dan Pascoe. It's the City Kaitak owners area. So we pan over. This is Sanjay from DTC, and then over to Hong Kong Island United. Jordan Yorker there, going down leg. End of the over. Hong Kong Island United 78 for 4 after 10 overs. So Hong Kong Island United needing further 78 off 7.5 deliveries. Just under 10 and over required for Hong Kong Island United to book a place in this afternoon's final. 2 p.m. Hong Kong time. Misbah Huck, Hong Kong Island United captain, Pakistan Test team captain, is on strike. And the captain of City Kaitak, the ball in his hand. Azaz Khan to Misbah Huck, keeper up. Oh, inside edge there. Foolish delivery there from Azaz Khan. Just get a feeling that the next few overs something needs to happen for Hong Kong Island United. Give themselves a chance. Cut shot there. Stand to wide third man. Could be out. It's run out. Misbah Huck. That's a big wicket. I think the umpires are going to come together and maybe have a discussion whether or not it was the keeper's gloves first or it was a direct hit. Looks like he's coming off. Misbah Huck, massive run out.
He wasn't happy, Misbah, but this is a big moment. Gareth Hart has been a great fielder, great throw. Misbah Huck didn't want to go. He's coming back. What is going on here?
I think it might have been gloves first, Max. It's my feeling. I think if you have a look, we
There's
slow
a
it down
massive
here.
argument out here. What's going on? Oh, he's
didn't
right.
have the
It's
ball.
the right decision. No, the gloves did take the bails off first.
I thought that initially.
Yeah.
Two runs. Misbah will Hack. Reprieve there for Misbah. Sorry? Just don't get involved, mate. There's no point you getting involved.
Yeah. Let's have another look. No,
Didn't have the ball in his
didn't have the
gloves
ball.
there. He's taken the stumps out.
it's not our call.
Guys, decision's made. It's out. End of story. Beg your pardon? No, I'm telling you from what I'm seeing.
Kick him out. This is a moment of controversy here in the Blitz.
So there's a run out, and they're not sure who was run out.
Slow down.
Yeah.
It's not a direct hit. It's not out. He does not have the ball. It's the right decision has been made. The right decision there has been made.
So it doesn't look as if the keeper had the ball when he removed the bails. So Misbah Ul Haq is still out there in the middle. Hello, I'm Peter Miller, rejoining you for this exciting finish to the group games of the Hong Kong T20 Blitz. Definitely didn't have the ball in his possession when he removed those stumps. It wasn't a direct hit. So, as the intense discussions still go on in the middle, shows how seriously the players are taking this. We have another look at that piece of action there as Misbah chops it out into the covers. Lovely pick up and throw from Gareth Hart. It's a bit too fast there for us to see exactly what happened, but Poran definitely didn't have the ball in his hands. It's the replay that gives us a conclusive answer to exactly what happened there. You see Hart there running around from the extra cover boundary. Picks up the ball and throws it in. And Poran collects the ball, but he doesn't. And he definitely didn't have the ball in his hands when those bails were removed. I don't see anything wrong with that decision whatsoever. And disappointment there for City Kaitak when they thought they had the hugely important wicket of Misbah Ul Haq. But Poran hadn't collected the ball cleanly.
What a controversy.
Has there been some waylaying of frustration going on, Max?
Well, there has been. Yeah, there's been a few tempers flaring. But ultimately, I think the right decision made.
Absolutely. Spot on. as much as City Kaitak, I'm sure, will be frustrated thinking they had their man. He wasn't out, and the right decision is much better than a quick one made that isn't correct. Oh, a lovely delivery from Izad Khan. Hong Kong international bowler, captain of the City Kaitak side. Delivery there, Daniel Pascoe trying to work the ball down to third man, playing and missing. Always seems to be when City Kaitak are in the field when we have controversial incidents. Of course, it was them that were playing when Gareth Hart took that remarkable catch on the boundary that caused some furore. So we see the City Kaitak bench there, slightly frustrated, having thought that that misjudgment had caused problems for their watching the coverage there, I would suggest, of the replay. Trying to work out whether or not it was out or whether it was out. Hopefully they'll come to the same conclusion as us.
There's still 1 ball remaining in the overs. We're going to go back and roll that.
With all that controversy there, it seems that we've had the over incorrectly called. There's still 1 ball to go from the other end. So we're going to go back to the other end, and we're going to see Izad Khan complete his over. It's the 1 ball spell. Somewhat unusual for them to make that decision. Normally, the rules of cricket state that when an umpire's called over, that's over. But it's probably, again, a correct decision. It's better than one that's made. Go back now and have 1 more ball, especially with this run chase being so vital for the tournament here. It's important that we have every delivery possible for Hong Kong Island United to try and reach their target in 17.4 overs. As Izad bowls this one, and it's going to get a wicket. Oh my goodness, it's all happening here. So that extra ball comes down, and we see another wicket falling. We see the bench there, Ian Bell and Ryan Campbell sat there. George Munsey looking frustrated. Izad Khan bowls the ball there. And it's so I'm sure Izad was probably a little bit frustrated to come back and have to bowl another ball, but it's worked out quite well for him. We see Matt Stiller, the match referee, talking to Ryan Campbell and Ian Bell there. And George Munsey and Jamie Atkinson sat to their right. Eshan Khan, the new batsman, 33-year-old spinner, who's impressed with his spin bowling over this 5-day tournament. 81 for 5 in the 11th over. Of course, the equation for City Kaitak is significantly more simple than it is for Hong Kong Island United. They just need to win, and they're doing a pretty good job towards that as Riyad Emirates bowls. And just a single there for Misbah. We've seen what Misbah is capable of. He scored 82 from 37 balls before scoring 84 from 50 balls in his first 2 innings in this tournament. Was on 172 runs for the tournament when this innings started. Not a brilliant piece of fielding there, but it's not going to cost them more than a couple. So Misbah on 188 runs for the tournament. So if he scores 4 more, he'll go past Dwayne Smith as the leading run scorer for the tournament so far. Carl Kurtz, who was doing the fielding down there on the boundary. That one's down the leg side and through the wicket keeper. So that's 2 runs added to the total, and there'll be an extra ball. Wry grin there from Riyad Emirates, who surely is a bit frustrated. It's been an interesting couple of overs for Nicholas Pooran, obviously at the centre of that controversial run-out, as we see him have the ball bounce off him. Going to, oh, it's a lovely piece of timing there. I thought for a moment that Gareth Hart was going to dive across to stop the ball, but it's gone through him and over the rope. 4 more runs. What an absolutely fantastic piece of timing from Misbah ul Haq. When that shot was played, I thought it was going to go just away for a single, but he's timed that so brilliantly. Gareth Hart dives over the ball, and you see it bouncing off the DTC mobile Toblerones around the boundary here. Laid out into the leg side. Another single for Misbah. Whoa. 90 for 5 in the 12th. Of course, it's not just a case that Hong Kong Island United need to win, they need to win and quickly. He plays that one ball out for another single. So the equation, as far as I can work out, and this is me getting out the pack at the back of a theoretical fag packet and working it out, but my calculations are that Hong Kong Island United need to win if their scores, if they just go 1 run ahead from 106 balls. Of course, if the scores were tied and they hit a 4 or a 6 off the 107th ball, those runs still count, provided the batsmen don't cross. So it could be that 107 is enough. But it adds an added dimension to a tournament like this when it's so close. You're going to have potentially teams finishing on tied points. As you see the beautiful skyline here at Kowloon on the Tin Kwon Road. It's one of 3 turf cricket grounds here in Hong Kong. This one owned by the local government. The other 2 private members clubs, Hong Kong Cricket Club and Kowloon Cricket Club. Kowloon Cricket Club, of course, famous for being the venue for the Hong Kong Sixes, which took place between 1992 and 2012. We'll be seeing it return in October this year. I'm not sure they've signed off exactly on which venue it'll be at, but whether it's here or at Kowloon. So we see Nadeem coming into bowl, and a play and a miss as that one shoots on a little bit. Decent glove work from Pooran there. Nadeem had an interesting experience in his first game of the tournament. He bowled 2 balls to Dwayne Smith. Dwayne Smith smashed him for 57 runs from those 12 balls. Decent start from Nadeem as his head coach at Hong Kong sits down next to me, Simon Cook. Hello, Simon.
Oh, a little bit of turn there from Nadeem. This wicket's starting to really start to favour the slower bowlers.
Yeah, obviously been a lot of cricket played on it now. This will be the 5th game played on this particular pitch. We had 2 on day 1 and 2 on day 2. Oh, frustration, that's close. Oh, he's given him out. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe the impact was just outside the line of off stump with that one, Simon.
Yeah, possibly. Obviously, the ball turned a little bit, the ball before. That one didn't. It kept on coming in. It's just, as you say, the question is whether it's hit him outside the line, and I think he might have a little bit of a case there.
Yeah, I think that one's a bit of a rotter, unfortunately. Hit him outside the line of the off stump. Not a great shot, but the rules are the rules, I suppose. A big appeal from Nadeem. I'll get in trouble for calling it the rules when it's the laws.
Laws, yeah, exactly. Playing regulations and playing laws.
Yeah, frustration for Ishan Khan, who's been given out with a not particularly great decision from the umpire. Ryan Campbell looking far from impressed with that particular decision.
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of overs, really, hasn't it? Controversy around the run out. Correct decision actually made in the end. Whether the procedure as to how to get to that decision may have been into question, but I think the correct decision was come to in the end. So we see Tamoor Afzal coming in. He's been quite quiet with the bat in this tournament. He comes with the reputation of being able to hit the ball a long way and being a very, very good striker of a cricket ball. And Hong Kong United team are going to need him here. And there he goes straight away. He's got a good piece of that, and it's disappeared out towards the tennis courts. He's not going to hang around here. He's going to try and finish this game off as quickly as possible. So we see a replay there. Ball heads out into the softball courts, that one. As we get umpires come out again, more new balls. Be interesting to see how many balls we've actually gone through in this tournament. And as we've seen now on this, as we're back onto the pitch we played on the first 2 days, the sixes have started to come back again as the surface is much better than the one they used yesterday and the day before.
Absolutely, but we're seeing that little bit more turn with it being a slightly more weathered surface, so that should make things slightly more interesting for the bowlers. Still not sure who's going to be playing the Kowloon Cantons in the final here. I work it out that it's going to have to be around 12 and over from here. There's only 58 more runs needed for to win, but of course, that needs to be done in 17.4 overs. And we've got 12.5 gone so far, so that's 4.5 overs from which they need to get the runs.
Yeah, and the man who's just come in, he's probably the Hong Kong United's last chance. He goes again for a big hit. And he's just going to get one to deep mid-wicket. You get the feeling if Misbah's there at the end, they've got a good chance. If these two bat for 2 overs, with Tamoor getting a decent amount of the strike and showing what he can do, they're right in this game.
Well, you would think of the players that are available to come, it's really these two that need to do it, if at all. There's not a huge amount of batting to come left in the Hong Kong Island United lineup.
That's right. A big powwow there between the City Kai Tak Brains Trust. I'm sure they're probably thinking that who to bowl next, and Jordan, for example, has only got 1 over left, and you want him to be bowling the most critical over. And I think it's important for the City Kai Tak team, or the captain, in this case Azaz Khan, to be understanding that realistically for City Kai Tak, this is a 17-over game. And even if he's leaving himself short with his bowlers, it doesn't really matter who bowls that 18th or 19th over. It's really making sure that they don't lose the game inside that critical 17.4 over mark.
We think,
yes.
I tried to get official word, but I can't get access to the scorer's hut because I don't have the correct pass, so it's difficult for me to go around and see him. The way that works here is that when there's television coverage, the players are shut off in an enclosure under anti-corruption regulations.
This is an interesting move. You've got Azaz Khan coming back on. Big over, this one.
Well, that one's just the one run. With there's another piece of absolutely fantastic fielding from Chris Jordan. Can't be too many better athletes in the world game than Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. He said on commentary in the when he was batting in the first innings, he's almost a complete cricketer at the moment for 2020 cricket in particular.
Yeah, hugely exciting talent from Barbados, but plays for England, plays for Sussex. He's played 8 Test matches for England, has an average of 35.
Like I said, he's a good all-round package. Probably one of the best fielders and catchers in the country as well.
That one's driven down the ground again. Is it going to be CJ that does the fielding? It is indeed.
We're seeing here the difference between the lengths that Azaz is bowling here in these first 2 deliveries and the lengths that Carl Christie was trying to bowl. He was going slightly too short and letting the batters get underneath it, and then he went slightly too full and they got underneath it and went straight. Whereas Azaz has got that nice in-between length here where it's still hitting the splice halfway up, but it's not short enough for them to heave it over deep mid-wicket. I think you'll see Tamer Afzal trying to heave this somewhere out of the ground in this ball.
He does exactly that. But unfortunately, unfortunately for him, it was big swing, no ding.
Yep. It's a little bit wider outside his eye line. And clearing that front leg out the way and almost too far out the way and couldn't reach the ball.
These 2 guys, I imagine, have bowled in tandem a fair amount for Hong Kong over the years with Aizaz Khan and Tanveer Afzal.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time playing together here domestically. Both played for Pakistan Association up until this year when Azaz moved to Kowloon Cricket Club. So again, we see a violent heave out towards mid-wicket, and it just results in a bit of a damp squib scuff out to mid-wicket, and City Kai-Tak are doing this really well here.
Excited WhatsApp message from Tim Cutler, the CEO of Cricket Hong Kong, who appears as having an absolutely fantastic watching the denouement of this particular tournament.
Do we have Cutler Cam operating in this game?
It's a lovely shot from Misbah, but it's going to carry to Chris Jordan, and he's gone. That is absolutely massive. When he first hit that, there's a couple that have done me in like that over this tournament, that I've seen the initial parabola, and I thought it was going to be going to the boundary for 6. But the safe hands of Chris Jordan, who we've seen take some absolutely phenomenal catches over the years, does the job. Oh, fantastic coverage from our cameraman there as we see Jordan taking that catch.
Yeah, and again, it's that length. It's that splicey length. Difficult to get underneath to hit straight. Difficult to heave over mid-wicket, and it's hit high up on the bat. And although he got good height, didn't get anywhere near the distance that he needed to. And as we say, Chris Jordan, he's not going to drop too many of those. Zaz desperately cries out for that to be caught, and you get the feeling that it could well be the game for City Kai-Tak. Certainly Azaz feels that way.
See Munir Dar and Misbah ul Haq there, both looking increasingly frustrated and annoyed at the situation here. I've seen Saeed Ajmal swing the bat over the years, but this is a big ask for the Pakistani spin bowler to pull this off from here.
He's dangerous. He can get a few away, but I think Hong Kong Island United's chances rest with that man in your picture there. Tamer Afzal's going to have to play a pretty special innings here. And he's got that one.
And it's another catch for Chris Jordan just in front of our commentary booth here.
And that puts Azaz on a hat-trick with Carl Christie coming into bat. And Tamer Afzal really only knows one way to play.
Well, Carl Christie's played 1 innings in ODI cricket and got a 3-ball duck, as we see Tanveer launch that ball down the ground. Another running catch from Chris Jordan there, who takes the time to give the ball a bit of a shine as well.
It's important lesson here is just make sure you got your best fielders in the position where you feel the ball's going to go the most, and that's exactly what a lot of these franchises have been doing here. You've seen Chris Jordan, George Munsey fielding it long on, long off, pretty much exclusively in these games, and it is for exactly those reasons, because you want your best fielders under the balls when they come to you.
We see Ryan Campbell standing there, just sitting down now with Ian Bell and George Munsey. Carl Christie on strike now for what could be the second hat-trick of the DTC Hong Kong T20 Blitz.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure there have been 2 hat-tricks in a franchise tournament before.
Well, that was the last ball of the over, so we'll have to wait till the next time Aizaz bowls. Does he have another ball to pull off the hat-trick, actually?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen. I think he might have one more over left. We've got Emirates into the attack now, bowling it side Ajmal, and see what happens here.
Well, it's going to be Emirates that bowls this next over. If Aizaz does indeed bring himself onto bowl for the next over, he'll be on a hat-trick then. Doesn't matter if it's across overs, it just needs to be 3 consecutive balls in the match. And across an innings as well, if it's a multi-innings game. Of course, only just one time to bat each here.
I think as captain, he's probably going to definitely bowl the next over.
If you were captaining, would you be bringing yourself on for the hat-trick ball? How many fielders are you having around the bat?
I think I'd be trying to bowl this over now if I was allowed, but yes, definitely I'd be bowling the next over.
Well, we'll have to see whether or not he can pull it off. Of course, the other hat-trick in the tournament was Ash Caddy of the Hung Hom JD Jaguars, who is a very gregarious character. Great fun to have a conversation with Ash.
Heaved out into the leg side. We're going to see some quite agricultural cricket now, I think. Yeah, Ash is gregarious. Could be a very good word to describe Ash. He's always full of beans, very pragmatic, and has worked extremely hard on his game over the last sort of 8-9 months. We took him last year on a high performance tour of Sri Lanka, and he impressed. He's carried on working. It's clear in this tournament he's up there as one of the leading wicket takers. He's done really well.
A lovely ball from Merritt, inside edge onto the pads by Christie. Jogs through for a single, then Saeed Ajmal back onto strike. Been impressed with Carl Christie, actually. I had a nice chat with him yesterday. He seems like got his head switched on for a young bowler, knows what he needs to do. Coming back from an ankle injury, feels like he's not quite back up to the pace he was bowling at before. Feels maybe he could generate a couple more yards still if he keeps his action in good stead.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of work to do with his action just to try and take the pressure off his ankle.
Oh, and there's Emirates, gets the wicket, the leg stump goes. It could be that Hong Kong Island United run out of wickets before Aizaz has the chance to take his hat-trick. That's 9 down now. But an attempted scoopy sweep shot round the corner by Saeed Ajmal, and it hits into his leg stump, and he's gone.
Yeah, ambitious shot, just getting too far inside the line, and ends up losing his leg stump. And you're quite right. I think Azaz may not get the opportunity to complete his hat-trick, unfortunately for him.
Well, I'm sure him captaining his side to the final of the DTC Hong Kong T20 Blitz will be compensation enough if he misses out on the hat-trick. I think he's done a decent job as leader of the men in luminous yellow.
Yeah, he's done well, and I think at the start of the tournament, these were the 2 teams which I felt were probably going to be in the final. It was interesting to see the match-up in the first game here, and the Cantons came out on top in that game, so City Kai Tak will really want to be trying to exact some revenge.
Oh, that one hits him on the pads, but that one's going a long way down the leg stump. Bit of a strangled appeal from Riyad Emirates and Nicholas Poran. Badri runs through to take the leg by, and it's going to be Carl Christie, the Perth-born teenager, to take strike.
Hong Kong-born.
Hong Kong-born, Perth-based teenager.
That's it.
Apologies. Bring them home.
That's what we have to do, is what we're trying to do. It's scouring the globe for talented cricketers who are born in Hong Kong.
That one's launched up in the air, but it's not going to go all the way.
And Azaz Khan takes the catch, which unfortunately denies him the chance of potentially taking a hat-trick here, but City Kai Tak win comfortably and progress through to the DTC, it's a mouthful, isn't it? DTC T20 Blitz final.
Corporate man at heart, Mr. Cook, pulled that one off. Absolutely fantastic win for City Kai Tak. I have to be honest, I wasn't sure 156 was a target that they could pull off, and I thought Hong Kong Island United were within a good chance with the likes of Ian Bell and Misbah Ul Haq in their batting lineup to chase that down in the overs that they needed. But sure enough, City Kai Tak pull off another win to go with their really impressive victory yesterday, which was actually the one that put them in front on run rate, with Nicholas Pooran scoring that brilliant 48 off 19 balls.
Yeah, that's right. The City Kai Tak fans and owners down there really enjoying it. It's good to see a sea of yellow. They're very well supported and very well run team. It's good to see two teams in the final who are led by two Hong Kong players.
Absolutely. Kowloon Cantons, captained by Baba Hayat, the opening batsman for the Hong Kong international team, and Azaz Khan, who is also a member of that national squad that Simon's in charge of, as we see the players shaking hands. Some real disappointment. AD Lee there in the pink bib, shaking hands there, one of the Hong Kong Dragons players. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see him in action this time round, but I've enjoyed my chats with AD. He's a nice kid.
Yeah, he's another one who's just come into the system a little bit later than usual. Has been very good for the Dragons team. Has led them well and adds a little bit of steel to that team. Unfortunately, he's been taken away from Hong Kong with his job, but we hope to see him as much as we can when he's able to travel back.
Some great pictures of the fans here that are absolutely delighted to be here at the HTC Hong Kong T20 Blitz.
There's the team manager there, Rajneesh Kapoor, just talking probably about that dismissal, I would think, with one of the match referees, Matt Stiller.
Absolutely one as well. Perhaps they're talking about when they need to be up and ready to go for the final. Of course, planned start for that is 2 hours away. So as we see the scorecard there, both teams bowled out in this match, interestingly. The star of the show with the ball once again and with the field is Chris Jordan. But top score for Ian Bell, who made 41 from 19. Misbah 27 from 22. Unfortunately, you would say for the Hong Kong Island United guys, it's going to be those two massive star names that were going to have to do it for them to chase this total down in the required time that they needed. And it made sense that they went down swinging rather than just go for the win and go out of the tournament.
Yeah, you got the feeling with the Island United team, they're very reliant on Bell, Misbah, and Munir Dar, actually, to a certain extent. He's provided some good impetus in the group stages of the innings. But when Misbah is not firing, they looked a little bit light. Did well to get to this stage, but I think the best team ended up winning today.
Yeah, I think so. I think across the 5 days of competition we've had so far, the two best teams have been the Kowloon Cantons and City Kai Tak teams in terms of contributions all the way down the order. So it's fantastic that we're going to see them in the final.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said earlier, it's with both teams getting bowled out today in under 20 overs. Maybe we might be a bit concerned about the wicket. And
here is Kath with the man of the match for City Kai Tak.
Yes, man of the match took 3 wickets, took a couple of handy catches, and also was pretty good with the bat. It's a congratulations to Chris Jordan. Chris, that match had everything. Was that the most mentally draining match you've been a part of in a while?
Yeah, a little bit actually. Obviously, everyone's come here to support us. We didn't get the score on the board that we would have liked because we had maybe 190 in mind. But obviously after that, after they started to drag it back and actually put a score on the board in a crucial game like that, it's always good to have a score on the board. And with the ball, we started really well, set the tone, which we didn't do the last game, so we wanted to put that right. right the way through we were able to pick up wickets and keep pegging them back, and it was a real good team performance, and on to the finals now.
What did you make of the controversial run-out decision?
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. I'm always one in those situations that as long as the right decision is made, then so be it, you know. But obviously it held up the game for a little while. But I thought even after all that commotion, we did well to hold our heads and come back and win the game the way we did. It was an emphatic win and one we thoroughly deserved. So on to the final now.
And now moving on to the final, you face the Kowloon Cantons. What do you think is the key to victory there?
Well, they're the only team that's beat us so far, so obviously we were hurting after that first game. So I mean, I think if we can keep their overseas players as quiet as possible, especially at the top of the order with Dwayne Smith and through the middle with Marlon Samuels, I think we will go a long way to winning the game. Because if we can keep them under control, we can restrict them as much as possible. And you've seen so far in the tournament, we have a decent enough batting lineup to chase down any score. So hopefully it goes according to plan.
Sounds like you've got revenge on your mind. Chris Jordan, congratulations and good luck for the final.
Definitely. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Thank you very much, Kath, and thank you, Chris Jordan. We'll be back at 2 p.m. local time, just under an hour from now, for the final, which will see the Kowloon Cantons play against the City Kai Tak team for the championship in the DTC T20 Hong Kong Blitz. Thank you, and we'll see you then.